Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's coffee is toasted hazelnut. It's 35 degrees, but it's going to be 56 and sunny today. And it doesn't look like the wind is whipping through the trees, so maybe it'll be a nice spring day. That would be great. So today I have a Walmart order coming. It's just a small one. I got the soil and the baggies to do my winter sowing in the baggies. I want to get that going. And just a couple of other essentials. Nothing to write home about. Very small order. You sure don't get much for $40 these days. But anyway, it's what we have, so we learn to roll with the punches. So I think I'm going to try a couple of the baggy sewing things today and see how that works out and get those outside, and then maybe I can get these seeds and things back in the garage. So that's going to be my focus for today, is working on that a little bit. And of course, looking at my budget. I don't think I have a whole lot of bills coming up for the rest of the month, which is good. So I'm learning right along with you guys how to budget. So I wasn't always frugal, but frugality and budgeting have come into my life by necessity. So I'm very glad that I don't have children that I still have to support, because that would be very bad on my income. So I make do with what I have for the most part. And I get a few nice things that I want. It's not all nose to the grindstone, but we'll see. We just have to do what we have to do to get through life. And don't forget, everything passes, even your problems. So hang in there. Things will get better. It'll take some time. And as we go through life, we have to adjust to the circumstances and either change them when we can or live with what we have in front of us to the best of our ability. One of my favorite prayers is the Serenity Prayer. In fact, I have it hanging in my kitchen. And when I'm feeling like I'm overwhelmed, I just read through that, and it's very helpful. So I'm sure everybody's familiar with that prayer, but if you're not, I'll read through it. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Amen. That is such a great prayer. So anyway, that's going to be my day today. Hopefully I can get outside for a little bit and get some fresh air. That would be great too. But I'm going to carry on with my day and do what it is that I want to do and have to do. So I will meet you at the budget book. I forgot to taste my coffee. Cheers. Yum. Very tasty. I've always liked hazelnut coffee, and I still do. It's one of the basics, but I always go back to it. All right. Now I'll meet you at the budget book. Hey. Yesterday, I get a big red X. But it wasn't any impulse buys. It was garden supplies and a few essentials like bread and toilet paper and things like that. So I don't feel bad that I went off the rails. did I have to have those things? Well, if I want to get my garden going, yeah, I kind of had to have the gardening supplies, and I figured since I was already paying for the Walmart delivery and a tip, that I might as well get a couple things that I'm almost out of, like bread. I could have made bread, but I wanted some Walmart Italian bread. And I'm almost out of lettuce. I have just a little tiny bit left, so I got some of that. And I really only have American cheese left, other than like Parmesan and things like that. But, so they were purchases that I felt like were justified. So that was my day yesterday. Today I'm hoping I don't need to buy anything else. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. But, so my goal here, for those of you that are new or that don't know, it's not to not spend any money, but to just spend money on those things that are necessary, and to cut back on impulse buying and not buy a bunch of tchotchkes and clothes and shoes and just things I really, really don't need at all. So I don't feel bad about the purchase, but I want to get back on track and go back to my not buying anything because I can't think of anything. I do have a Dollar Tree food list, and next time I go out I'll probably stop at the Dollar Tree. But I don't want to buy a whole lot of crafting supplies and, you know, just stuff. Only the things that that I will use. Alright, so that is that for the day. I updated my budget book yesterday, and if you missed my I did a video a day or two ago about my actual budget with my budget sheet. So if you're interested in that, go check out that video, and this whole system will make more sense. Alright, I'll be back with the rest of my day. Okay, my Walmart order arrived. First thing I got was toilet paper. I have a stash, but I keep the stash just in case. I mean, we do use it, but every now and then I do get more toilet paper. I don't want to be that guy that has a whole cart full of toilet paper. Okay, let me show you what I got at Walmart. Nothing big, just a few little things that I was running short on, so I don't have to shop the rest of the month, hopefully. So I'm almost out of cheese. I have American cheese left. I have frozen vegan cheese, but I just wanted some plain old good cheese. So I got some sliced Gouda, and that's great value. They didn't have great value Havarti, but I got the Sargento, so that'll last me quite a while. Then I got, here's the slider bags that I got for my winter sewing. 40 bags. Let's take a look at them. And I think these are the ones that have the pleated bottom where the bottom opens up. Let's take a look. Yep, and that's what I wanted. I don't think you have to have that, but that's what I wanted. So that'll be good. It shouldn't take me long to plant these things. And rather than the winter sewing things that I've seen, you fill it up and then you put dowel rods or something like that through them and prop them up so that they don't collapse. But what I want to do, I have all these skewers, so I think what I want to do is if this will work, I don't know, is just take them and zip tie them to here, put one on either side, and then hopefully it'll keep it upright. And then I want to stick it in some kind of a bin, not with a lid on, but just open with holes on the bottom. So I'm going to try that. We'll see. We will see. It's all an experiment. So those are the slider bags. And this order just came. I just brought it in. So here I have, I'm almost out of romaine. So I got these, and they look like they did a nice job picking them out. I'm a little leery having other people shop for me because I'm kind of picky as to what I like. And then I wanted to get butter lettuce, but they didn't have it, so they substituted this romaine salad, and that's good because I like romaine. It looks like it's got carrots and red cabbage and romaine lettuce. I want to start eating more salads now that the weather's getting a little warmer. It's a thought. And then I got my favorite Walmart bread, and they haven't had this in a while. They finally had the sesame seed one, so I got one of those. And then I got 2 bags of Miracle-Gro potting mix, just the regular potting mix. So I hope this is good. I got 2 of these. So altogether, that little bit cost me $54. But this should last me the rest of the month. So, okay, that was it on my Walmart order. And I'm going to have a little breakfast, and then I'm going to work on some composting. I want to feed my worms. I want to start using my Bokashi composter. So I'll have 3 compostings, well actually 4. I have a composter outside. I have my, it's like a Lumi, but it's not. It's an Idoo composter. Then I have the Bokashi, and I have the worms. So I should be having some good stuff to feed my plants, hopefully. Alright, well here is the Bokashi composter, and I assembled this a long time ago. I've had this thing about 3 years now, never used it, still brand new. And it comes with, this is what it looks like, and it comes with this little spigot. Because as you put your food in, of course it ferments, and then you get liquid, which you can also use as fertilizer. You use like 1 teaspoon to a gallon of water, and you can water your outdoor plants, your indoor plants, whatever. So it's time I start using this because, you know, I'm on a mission to use what I have. So, and this is what it comes with, directions. And I don't know how much these are now. I think I paid around $60 when I got it. But it comes with the Bokashi inoculate. And this is what ferments the food and helps it to decompose. So this actually is compost in 2 or 3 weeks when it's done. Idoo actually just dehydrates and grinds up food, which is also a fertilizer, but it's not really compost. So they each have their own use. Now I think the inoculate used to be about $30 for a bag, but this came with the system, so I have no idea what it costs now. And then I bought this from Dollar Tree because you have to tamp everything down after you put it in, and then you put a layer of the Bokashi. You put you put, okay, let me explain. This comes with a little cup too that you keep under there. But what you do is it has this screen, so you put a little bit of the Bokashi inoculant in there, you put your scraps in there, then you put a little more of the inoculant, and every time you add new food, you put more of the inoculant. So this comes out, and it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. It has a little lip down there. So that is how it works. It's very simple. So I shouldn't have any garbage, you know, or very, very little. I recycle most of my recyclables. What isn't recyclable, of course, goes in the trash, but I have very little garbage most of the time. I have like maybe one tall kitchen can full at the end of the week. Sometimes it's not even full. So I do what I can. I mean, I don't like to be wasteful. So I do what I can to reuse everything that I can. Because free is free. You know, why spend all that money and give your hard-earned money to a company that definitely doesn't need any more, and you definitely do. So that's my philosophy anyway. I mean, it helps me, it helps the earth, because whether you believe in all the, you know, green and all that that's going on, whether you believe that or don't believe that, I mean, there's a controversy on either side, but still, I like to do my part to reduce the garbage that I have. So no matter what your view on it is, I think personally that's important. If you can reuse or recycle, the old timers, they reused everything they could. They weren't as wasteful as we are. You know, I see people sometimes on garbage day when I drive down the street. They're throwing out a perfectly good bedroom set. You know, I mean, you could tell it was quality and it was on the curb. So I think we all need to be a little less wasteful. I mean, I did throw out my old couch, but that was totally useless because it had a big hole in the cushions. The cushions that were on the back of it all ripped away, so it was really trash. But I see so much good stuff in the garbage. You know, it's no wonder people make a living out of garbage picking and dumpster diving. If if I had more nerve, I'd go do it too. Not to say that I have not ever garbage picked, because I have. If I see something that I can use and I can fit it in my car, I'll definitely pick it up. So anyway, I don't know, do you guys garbage pick? Have you ever garbage picked? You know, I mean, my neighbor, when he was moving, he had all kinds of good stuff. I mean, it wasn't worn or anything, it was just because he was moving. He had like a 2-shelf unit, he had some decor. I mean, it was nice, it wasn't trash. So I went and picked a couple of things from his garbage. Then my other neighbor, they had these really nice big planters on their front porch, and they were faded and stuff like that, but they were still good. They were still perfectly good, but they got new ones, so I garbage picked those too. And they've been living in my backyard for a few years now. Now one of them got damaged when they cut down my trees, so there's really only one that's still good, but the other one's still back there. I have to do something with it when I clean up the yard. But anyway, upward and onward. I'm going to get busy, do my composting thing here, and do my winter sowing, and I'll be back and I'll show you that process. Okay, this is the first time that I'm using this system, so hopefully it works. I have some dried up old onions down there, some lasagna my grandson didn't eat, some pizza rolls he didn't eat. He's not as conscientious about food as I am. So that's stuff that he had in the fridge that I told him to clean up. So anyway, it says to put some of this inoculate on there. So that's what I'm going to do, and this is what helps it ferment. Doesn't really say how much, so I'm just going to cover it. I don't know, this is just a Keurig K-cup full. I don't even think I need the whole thing. But this will be a learning experience for me. And then it says to tamp it all down. So we'll do that, and then we'll see what happens. Now they say that it doesn't smell because of the good bacteria. It says you can compost meat, any solid food. So we'll see. I hope this is a good system, but time will tell. So that's it, and then you snap on the lid, which is airtight, and every couple days you go and you open this up. I hope this is closed. Close. Okay, now it's closed. And you open it up every couple days, get the liquid out, and then save that because it's like plant food. So, alright, there is the Bokashi system. And now I'm going to go feed my worms. Here is my composting system. These are mainly all eggshells, and a little bit from the Idoo Garbo I mixed together, so those will be going in the garden. And then my Bokashi is going to live here, and then this is my Garbo fertilizer. And I'm thinking what I might do every now and then is when it's done grinding up in here, I may add it to the Bokashi bucket, and that way this stuff will be inoculated too with the good bacteria. So I don't know, I'm going to play around with it and see what I come up with. And it keeps me busy. So here's all my little peppers still hanging in there. If these all grow, that'll be nice. I'm going to give most of these to my daughter once they start growing, and I'll keep a couple of each because she has quite a bit of land and they can use it to for their garden. And I just use an old jar here as a little mini greenhouse. All right, got to get to the planting of the things. I'm going to feed my worms. So avert your eyes or fast forward if you don't like worms. We don't use this bathtub, so I just house my worms in here. It's too cold for them outside. They would freeze because they're red wiggler worms. So yeah, this isn't going to work too well. So they can't take too much heat, and they also can't take too much cold. So they make a mess. My son was going to come and pick them up, but he hasn't done so yet. I don't know if it's worth all the problems. So let's take a look. I haven't fed them in a while. Yeah, there's still a few alive in there. I don't feed them very often because it gets smelly. But, you know, these are all the worm castings. So I'm going to go ahead and feed them. And I had some frozen scraps that I did. I did that because I didn't want any fruit flies. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump all this in there and they'll be happy. These are coffee grounds and paper. Sorry, this is not the best stand for this. Hopefully that's better. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and feed them. And then I'm just going to put, they ate everything that was in there from last time. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover this with some newspaper. And then I'm going to just spray the paper down. Is that still working? Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, they're very messy. And that's why I keep them in the bathtub. Go ahead and do the other side. And I wish I could just put these guys in the garden, but they would freeze to death. If you want to do that, I guess you have to get earthworms, but the red wigglers won't, they won't survive the cold or the heat. So that's it. They do escape in the tub sometimes, so, but then they just dry up, poor things. So anyway, this is the worm composter that I have. Oops, there's a guy right there. Put him in there. Sometimes they like to climb around on the lid. Of course, oh, here's another one. Of course, I wear gloves to do this because I think they're kind of gross. But they make some good stuff. Let's see. All right, I guess that's it. Yep, and this is a maize composter. I don't know if you can see that. It's a really nice little composter, but I don't know. The worms are a lot of work, in my opinion. You can't feed them too much, but it's kind of hard to gauge how much to actually feed them. Oh, this is not working. So anyway, another composting project. Well, today is Tea Tuesday. Happy Tea Tuesday. Cheers. Today's flavor is Bengal Spice. It's one of my favorites. It's by Celestial Seasonings. And it is an herbal tea. Very yummy. Very rich and bold. Well, I just got in from outside, cleaning up the yard a little bit, and boy, have I got my work cut out for me out there. But it'll get done all in good time. So it's 4 o'clock. I missed the witching hour. So I'm going to make a little mug cake for myself and have a cup of tea. I feel like I was busy all day, but I didn't accomplish that much. I got all the composting set up, so I guess that's something. And did a little cleanup in the yard. It ended up being a nice day for that. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I thought I'd better do something today. But I don't feel like I got everything done that I wanted to do. I didn't do any of the sewing, the winter sewing. Well, now it's spring sewing. I guess it's early sewing. I will call it that. But tomorrow is another day. I'm done. I wish I had more energy like I used to have. But that ship has sailed. So it's a trade-off. You know, when you're younger, you work your dupa off and you need all that energy. And when you get older, hopefully you've got it going on and you've got your stuff together. So I'm still working on that a little bit though. But, well, it's a work in progress. I'll work on it as much as I can. And eventually I'll get there. So, alright my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.